Good morning and thank you very much, Mr. Mishra, Dr. Pujari, all my colleagues, banking friends, students. It's a pleasure to be back in Orissa. It's the third time I'm back in Bhubaneswar for different engagements, of course. Now, what this panel proposes to do, let me set out that. I think if we are talking about the future scenario of financial inclusion and financial literacy, I think it is important that we need to understand the system in which we are in. What are the kind of different players that are there? What these players have been generally doing? And why they have not been doing, or what were the problems in their not doing what the country thought is very important or still thinks is very important in achieving that. And in taking this country forward towards a financial literacy, financial inclusion, what are the kind of new players that could appear on the scene? What is the kind of disruption that they could bring into the system and how that will impact the existing players? And we are going to sort of hoping to end this session by my asking each of my panel members, which I myself will be a part of, as to where do you see the scenario, the Indian financial system, let's say in 2025. So this is a kind of sweep that we have planned. And let me sort of set the tone for that, and I would request each of my members to come in. As we all know, I think the banking sector in India, or the financial sector in India, is undergoing a very, very rapid transformation. And in fact, last few years it has gathered so much of momentum that I think we are almost witnessing the starting point of what I call a metamorphosis. Today, I think no bank, particularly the public sector bank, including the state bank, can sit back and say that I open my doors to business and the business is going to come to me. I think that scenario is gone. New players are coming, and with the technology rapidly taking over, I think you are going to get a completely new set of players. Let me say the so-called technology giants, the Googles of the world, the Amazons of the world, who are completely going to disrupt the existing system. So it is important. Now where does India come into the picture? As Mr. Mohanty said, as Mr. Pujari also flagged the issue, this country has done a lot in ushering in the inclusive financial sector. And I think most of the building blocks are now more or less in place. Now is the time to get all these acts together and move forward. And what did Reserve Bank of India do in this direction? What Reserve Bank of India did was that it has now licensed 21 new entities, the small finance bank and the payment banks, who are probably completely going to transform the way these aspects get done and driven forward. Now, why did Reserve Bank of India have to do this? I think Mr. Mohanty flagged the issue that despite this country probably having the largest number of mobile users in the world, and mobile being today treated as perhaps the most appropriate medium to take the financial inclusion forward, this country has not been able to really push it the way it ought to have done. Because the different players could never get together, handshake, and say that this is important for the country, take it forward. The first question arose, who owns the custom? Who takes care of the security? Who is responsible for the labs? These questions kept getting asked 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, till the government and the Reserve Bank of India ran out of patience. So we said, look, enough is enough. Now we are going to get new players into the system who are going to drive this entire process forward. And what is going to change the whole thing? What is going to change the whole thing is, just as the banking sector transformed when the new private sector banks aided by technology came in, today we are looking at a next generation technology where this entire system can be taken forward. That perhaps is the difference these new institutions would bring about, that we will discuss as we go along as far as the panel discussion is concerned.
And I have also with me Mr. Mitra. I think he drove a lot of initiatives in NABARD, particularly relating to the financial inclusion. So the cooperative sector angle to the whole issue would be brought to the table by Mr. Mitra. So let me now start by inviting Mr. Krishnamurthy to share his initial thoughts, first about the banking sector or the financial sector in general, and particularly focusing on what he thinks would be the changing contours of NBFC, the way the country has decided to progress.